Alright, at the top right side of Star Station, we have from Clan MythViperGS, it's Androide. And on the bottom side, from Clan Mythology, it's ViperGS. I will be waiting on a call from Jeroen, Mr. Wyman himself, to kick it off the co-casting. So far, it looks very standard. These two guys I know a lot about actually. I played against Android in the qualifiers, I think. Lost a game against him. He was Protoss back then, if I'm correct. And it looks like the better half of me just joined once again.
Yeah, here I am. Looks like Skype decided that this doesn't want to be my friend today, but should be all fine and good again.
It's alright, because Frank didn't see it anyway.
That's so true. Yeah, I say we can definitely say he has a different perspective on life today.
Yeah, my sister had laser eye surgery, and I know that she bumped every light she could find on the street for a week, and she couldn't
Wow.
cook either, so it's definitely intense. But if it works out, you never have to wear glasses, you never have to wear contacts. That's really cool, right?
Yeah, I wear glasses permanently, but I don't personally really mind because, well, kind of used to it. Plus, they just look fabulous.
They just
So
look fabulous.
yeah, so let's get into this game here. We got a TVP on this one map, which I still don't entirely know the name of.
Star Station.
Oh, Star Station, of course. Yeah, from Team Megas, which I'm not too familiar with either. It's Android in the top right as a pink Terran. Interesting color pick here. And in the bottom right, we have from Team Myth. It's just Myth, right? Not Mythology, or is it?
It's mythology, yes.
Okay, it's Viper. And I know that GS stands for your sponsor.
Yep, it's Game Show. You can find out everything about this player on clan-myth.com. There we go, shameless promotion.
Yep.
You should
And
definitely do it sometime as well.
we'll see. So, speaking of shamelessness, we have a very shameless, very fast expansion here from the Protoss, which I think is actually quite okay on this map. But you have to take into account that lots of Terrans will, especially on this map, because the main is so wide and there's so many access points from the air, go for something like a one base. I mean, something like a widow mine drop into expansion. So you can expect some pretty heavy aggression early on.
Yep, so far these players going for macro game though.
Yeah.
Viper just went ahead and threw down his Nexus first. Very ballsy against Terran actually these days because of the fact that you can open Reapers, which can do a lot of damage if you go for Nexus first.
Yeah.
Now, it looks like Android is taking a little bit of a safer route going for Barracks and expansion. And both players had a hard time scouting each other, but it looks like Android's going to be the first to find Viper's base.
Yeah, interesting to note that Android is building a bunker at the top of his ramp. This used to be, like in the good old days, a very definite indicator of a 1-1-1 build. But yeah, we can definitely see it's not going to be a 1-1-1. He hasn't taken any gases so far. So it looks like he's just going to transition into some very standard bio play. No tricky things with medevacs or Reapers or Widow Mines just yet.
Yeah, usually the fact that you're adding two barracks means you're going bio. He's doing that right now, so good call on that. And the command center almost finishing up. Now, the thing though with this bunker, Viper just scouted it, and after he scouted it, he just salvages it. So he's trying to fake out the 1-1-1, I feel like.
Oh, and moving quite, yeah, moves into his natural with these two Marines and actually takes out the probe before it gets the scout off. So if you look at the vision of Viper, he knows almost nothing really. I mean, he doesn't know there's an expansion. He doesn't know if there's Reapers. Well, if there had been Reapers, he would have probably seen them by now. But yeah, he might use this mothership core to scout around a bit. But he's just gonna let it sit around a bit for a while.
Yeah, he's gonna position the mothership core between the two Nexi. When it gets enough energy, it can protect both the main and the natural expansion. That's always nice, of course. Now the Stalker will go ahead and scout out what's going on. And he will find the 4 Marines standing in front of the base. Now, you can be really annoying with one of these Stalkers because they outrange the Marine by 1. And you can just guide them for a long time. And let's see if he makes that work.
Yeah, this is going to be annoying for the Terran for sure. You know, I have to micro these Marines as well as you can. But Viper, you know, unless he makes a critical mistake and lets his Stalker get too close to the Marines, he's going to be fine here. Ooh, it actually takes a lot of damage already on this Stalker. Finally getting his first Marine kill and having to retreat definitely at this point.
Yeah, has to retreat, but he did do some damage on those Marines. Now I like the engagement for Android more though, because it reflects that Stalker for a long time. Now 2 Stalkers are going to be even more annoying, and I do think he has to get a bunker at some point at the front.
This is an interesting build by Android. He went for a really early engineering base, so he can have an early turret in his mineral line to protect against, you know, Oracle harassment. and he's gone up to 5 barracks, completely naked, no tech lab. So you would assume he would go for some very heavy aggression, which he's kind of messing up a marine ball at this point, it seems.
Yep, it's actually a good thing that he's moving the Stalkers to the Watchtower right now, because that SCV was gonna see the Oracle fly in, I feel like. You
Yep.
can see the way it's queued up, it would have seen that. So that's a good thing that he cleared that up. Now Android already doing a good job of getting some missile turrets up early game. You can see there's one in the expansion, one in the main base, so that should be enough to hold that Oracle.
Yeah, it's really kind of a must-have for Terran these days to get those turrets off early, because DT play is getting more common, Oracle play of course, and oh wow, these Marines actually being pulled very far away from their base, while the Oracle just sits close to the Terran base ready to swoop in and maybe take out a couple of SCVs.
Yeah, doing a good job so far. Now we do see the first Oracle fly into the main base of Android. That missile turret's gonna get a few shots off immediately. That's got one kill, but a nice pull by Android. I like his game so far. And we also see some Marines moving across the map. On that I'm not too sure though, because those Marines don't have upgrades yet.
Yeah, and I think Viper won't have too much of a problem holding this off, because as you mentioned, there's no upgrades, but also Oracles will just completely melt Marines if they get the chance. But I don't think Viper actually saw this coming. He now warps in Stalkers at the top of his ramp, but there's a lot of energy on this mothership core, but he's got no force field. Oh, it doesn't have the force field? Android changes his mind. But yeah, Photon on overcharge in the Nexus will be more than fine to hold this off, and Android pulling back quite wisely.
Yeah, the high ground really giving Viper a good defender's advantage on this map. The Stalkers outranging the Marines, of course, but they can't even see them when they're up the cliff. There's really no point in walking in. And now it looks like Viper's going to give chase to these Marines, and I think that's a good decision. He might be able to pick 2 or 3 off.
Yeah, so this very delayed gas strat by Android, going very marine heavy in the early stage of the game, really seems to be catered to build an early defense up against these Oracles. But these Oracles are actually doing a really good job right now, killing off SCV. 6 kills on this Oracle already, and having to cancel the turret.
Yep, doing a good job. 6 kills and 4 kills, and he's also targeting the tech bay right now. And that could actually cancel
not
Stim
repairing.
back here, and that would be very bad. He's going to lose a few extras if he's repairing that.
Yeah, these Marines finally step in to force this Oracle away, but it got 10 kills, like pretty much for free, and almost canceling Stim, which is something you do not want to have happen as a Terran at this phase in the game. Tech-wise though, Viper is quickly catching up. He's got a thermal lance on the way, so he's going to move into Colossus play for sure. Now throwing down a whole bunch of pylons, so I really expect to see some heavy pressure coming out from him. Though he does take his third right now, so maybe not.
Yep, he got a little bit supply block there, so he had to go for the emergency. I'm gonna make all the pylons. He's taking an expansion, that means another good chance to throw down some 2 extra pylons with that as well. He already has some an Immortal out, he's making Colossi soon. And I don't think Android has any scouting information on this right now. He's just adding the factory, which means that medevacs will arrive when the first Colossus is already out. That's not a good position, because the medevac count is going to be really low compared to the Viking count if he scouts it.
Yeah, I'm really not sure of Android's game plan at this point. I mean, it's 12 minutes into the game. He's at 17 supply. He's supply blocked just for good reference. He's just only started his starport. I mean, the early pressure is of course annoying, and he does have a sizable force out on the map. But he doesn't seem to really be going for anything. Like, he's getting good upgrades, but his tech is still behind, and he's definitely behind in terms of expansions at this point.
Yep, and we already see a Twilight Council coming down for the Protoss as well. Now the first starport is being constructed by Android. He really needs that reactor also being added on the factory, so there will be a quick swapperoo. And I think he needs an extra starport to get those Vikings up. Does he have any clue yet that there's Colossus? Because I haven't seen a scan yet on the army.
Yeah, I mean, he did scan the robotics facility as it went down, but that was quite a while ago. Okay, now he knows for sure there's a Colossus, as this Marine gets absolutely roasted at the third of the Protoss. And yeah, well, you see Protoss with Colossi, a bunch of sentries on 3 bases with gases. You can't just sit there and macro like he's currently doing. I mean, I'm saying he's macroing, but his production really seems to be kind of halted at this point.
Yep, one of the good things for Android is that he's a little bit ahead in upgrades. He's got 101 already finished, and it's going to be 11 soon. Now he has to add an engineering bay and start 2 fast, and he will be a little bit ahead of the Protoss, who's just halfway of constructing his own 11 right now. If he makes for a good timing push with the 2-2, he could make something happen. But he hasn't taken his third base either, and Viper's already mining from it quite significantly at this point.
Yeah, keep in mind though that Android doesn't have an armory, so he can't start 2-2 yet until he's finished actually building it.
Oh,
And he goes for a second starport to counter the Colossus play. But it's going to be 1-1 right now, and it's going to be 1-1 for a while, it seems, because, you know, what else? He's going to have to do something. Okay, there goes the armory finally at the right side of the base, and it might actually get taken out by these oracles flying in right now.
yep, and Android's doing a good job of every time he gets extra units, and when he's going to drop, doing it underneath the observer. I don't like that at all. It's something you always have to keep in mind as a Terran player, that there can be those pesky observers trying to catch a read. We also have two oracles flying in to try and kill the engineering bay, but that's gonna be denied by the missile turret.
This one gets into range quite comfortably though, and yeah, what's Android going to have to do about it? He's got no Vikings at this point, so he can't just chase it away. He could just repair, but his force is out way on the map with no medefacts. The actual medefacts now flying into the main
Yep.
of the Protoss. Colossi moving in, and as well as these Stalkers, and all he can really do is pick up again and get out of there. Not using the... Oh, he's mismicroing the... Okay, he's going to snipe the third. That's a good move, though.
Yep, sniping the third is a good move. He did take a weird angle with that medevac though, losing the full one. At
Yeah.
first it wasn't too bad, but after that turned out, well, not too great. Did snipe off the third, which means he has his own third finished at his natural expansion. So he could get in a decent position here if he can hold off this army. And to be honest, I don't know if he can do that though.
Yeah, I'm having my doubts about it too, because we got... Well, there's no charge. There's 1-1, so they're currently equal in upgrades. But Android completely out of Vikings or medevacts even. You know, this pure bio ball is just going to get force fielded and...
Yep, it is.
like that.
Yeah,
And,
like that indeed. Now he does have a nice choke going on at the top side, and the SCVs are rushing in to be the saving grace. But so far he's just killing zealots. He's not targeting the Colossus, and I don't think there's any Vikings on the field, so this is looking really bad for him.
Yeah, he's really trying to make the best out of the worst situation possible, but you know, supply really tells the difference. 130 against almost 40 supply, and GG, Viper takes his first game very convincingly.